Hello everyone. Today's topic is venous sinuses of the dura mater. What are the venous sinuses? Are venous sinuses are the space in between the endosteal and the meningeal layer, which are lined by the endothelium. Venous sinuses are spaces in between the endosteal and the meningeal layer of dura that are lined by endothelium. All the venous sinuses are occupy in between the endosteal and the meningeal layer of the dura mater, except two. Except two. One is inferior sagittal sinus, and another one is straight sinus. These sinuses lie only within the infolding of the meningeal layer. Endosteal layer is these two sinuses are not in between the endosteal and the meningeal layer. These lie only within the infoldings of the meningeal layer. Now, this is the endosteal layer. This is the meningeal layer of the dura mater. In between these two layers, the space lined by the endothelium and contain the venous blood. These spaces are termed as venous sinuses. All the dural venous sinuses occupy the space in between the endosteal and the meningeal layers of dura mater. Now, these are the infoldings of the dural reflection. This is the falx cerebri. This is the tentorium cerebelli. In between, in these reflections of the dura mater, we have venous sinuses. Like here we have superior sagittal sinus, here we have inferior sagittal sinus. In between the infoldings of, when these infoldings are of dura mater are formed to support the brain, to hold the brain in position, and in between these infoldings we have endothelium lined spaces that contain the venous blood, and these spaces are termed as dural venous sinuses. Now, this is the falx cerebri. In the infoldings of the falx cerebri, we have superior sagittal sinus, and within the infolding of the two meningeal layer, we have inferior sagittal sinus. Same way, straight sinus within the infoldings of the meningeal layer. Between the two dural layers, that is the endosteal and the meningeal, we have transverse sinuses. All these sinuses we will study in detail. What are the tributaries, from extent, from where they extend, what are the tributary, where they drain their blood. All this we study in different part of videos. First of all, we should know what are the characteristics of these venous sinuses. These are the spaces lined with endothelium, but these are valveless. Valves are absent, and there is devoid of muscular coat. As when we study the histology of artery or any vein, we study there is endothelium, vascular coat, muscular coat around the vessels, but these are the spaces lined by endothelium only, walls absent, and no muscular coat is present. These are the spaces lined by endothelium present within the dural reflections. Now they collect blood from brain, meninges, diploe, that are the small bone, internal ear and orbit. Internal ear and orbit, because veins from the eye, that is from the orbit, and from the internal ear drain directly or indirectly into the cavernous sinus, which is a part of dural venous sinus, that is the paired dural venous sinus, and from there they are connected to internal ear and orbit. So venous sinuses collect blood from brain, meninges, internal ear and orbit. Absorb CSF. These venous sinuses absorb the cerebrospinal fluid through the arachnoid granulation tissue, and these receives valveless emissary vein to maintain the equilibrium of the venous pressure within and outside the skull. These maintain an equilibrium of venous pressure. Emissary vein from the scalp is connected, or it is drained into the venous sinuses, and this is helpful in maintaining the equilibrium of venous pressure within and outside the skull. Now venous sinuses are classified on basis whether they are paired or unpaired. In total we have 23 venous sinuses, out of which 8 are paired and 7 are unpaired. Now unpaired venous sinuses, we have superior sagittal sinus, inferior sagittal sinus, straight sinus, occipital sinus, anterior intercavernous sinus, posterior intercavernous sinus and basilar venous plexus. Name are based on their position. Superior sagittal sinus is placed superiorly in fox cerebri, that is the fold, and inferior sagittal sinus is placed on the lower border of that fold. So superior and inferior sagittal sinus. Straight sinus is occipital sinus location is on occipital. Straight sinus, it's in between the tentorium and cerebellum. Anterior intercavernous sinus is connecting both the cavernous sinus, and it present anterior. Both anterior and posterior, they form a circular sinus around the diaphragma sellae. And basilar venous plexus is plexus of veins at the basilar part of the skull. Now this is the superior sagittal sinus, its position. Inferior sagittal sinus, this is the straight sinus in between the tentorium cerebelli and where the fox cerebri get attached to the this tentorium cerebelli. Then occipital sinus, and these are the two intercavernous sinus. This is the anterior one, anterior intercavernous sinus, and this is the posterior one, that is the posterior intercavernous sinus, and this is the basilar part of the bone, and here we have a venous plexus. This is termed as basilar venous plexus. These 7 are unpaired venous sinuses. And paired venous sinuses, we have transverse sinus, sigmoid sinus, cavernous sinus, superior petrosal sinus, inferior petrosal sinus, sphenoparietal sinus, petrosquamous and middle meningeal. This is the middle meningeal vein that is considered as the paired venous sinus. Rest are the sinuses named on basis of their position. This is this. Now in this diagram we can see these are the veins which drain into the cavernous sinus. In this way both the orbit and the internal ear are connected, are draining within the venous sinuses. So venous sinuses collect blood from the brain, meninges and from internal ear and orbit. Now paired venous sinuses, we have sphenoparietal sinus. This is the sphenoparietal sinus. Then cavernous sinus on both sides. This is the cavernous sinus. Middle meningeal vein. These are the veins, middle meningeal veins. Then inferior petrosal sinus. These are the inferior petrosal and superior petrosal sinus on petrosal bone, on dural reflection over the petrosal area, the petrosal bone. Now the sigmoid sinus, that will convert into the jugular vein, internal jugular, and these are the transverse sinuses within the tentorium cerebelli. We will study the position all in detail after we study the dural reflections. First we study the position of the dural folds, their reflections, then we get to know their position, and after that we will study extent of these venous sinus individually. Thank you.